everyone. Today we're going to talk about word gaps for informational text. So, when we say word gaps, it pertains to words that we don't understand for different reasons. For example, words with multiple meanings. It could be one word with different meanings. It could be rare or technical word, like I would say medical terms, subject specific words. It could also be words that refer to something mentioned in the other part of the text, like probably mentioned a paragraph or two paragraphs earlier, and now we're confused on what it means because it's too far to its reference. Or words being used in descriptive ways, such as in synonyms or antonyms or metaphors. Okay, so how do we help ourselves? How do we self help ourselves from identifying the words? So let's use this five ways. Sorry. First is through definition or explanation, okay? Pay attention to the comments. Sometimes a new or difficult words will present in a sentence, and immediately following is the definition, usually a phrase offset by commas. So, definition found or explanation within the sentence itself. Most of the time, through the use or introduction of the word comma. So, let's look at the formula. It would be new word and then comma and then the definition. Okay, now let's look at the example. What does the word haberdashery mean? So haberdashery, comma, which is a store that sells clothing, is becoming more common today. So, now I know what haberdashery means. It's a store that sells men's clothing. And how did I know that? Because the definition itself is found within the sentence, and the comma, what was my clue to identify that definition. Okay. Next, it could also be through what? Restatement or synonym. When you say synonym, word or other word with the same meaning. So use context clues. Sometimes a new or difficult word will present in a sentence. The sentence directly after it might be restated with the definition stated in a way that makes more sense. Okay, sometimes it's within the sentence or sometimes it's after the sentence, but there will always be clues such as restatement or synonym. So the formula would be new or difficult word in a sentence and then restatement afterwards. Let's look at the example. What does the word haberdashery mean? Lou was sent to the haberdashery to find a new suit. He needed to wear one for his uncle's wedding. Because the sentence says that Lou would find a new suit at the haberdashery, then that must be a place where clothes or men's clothes are sold. So what was my clue here? The word new suit that he needs to wear for the wedding. So it gave me the idea, oh, so haberdashery is a place for men's clothes, okay? Next, other than restatement or synonym, it could be the other way around. Contrast or antonym serves as clues. Contrast, as in contrast and contradiction, is similar to the word antonym, which is the opposite, okay? Sometimes a word or phrase is clarified by the presentation of the opposite meaning, somewhere close to its use. Look for signal words when applying for context clues. So there will be contrasting or contradicting word that would serve as your clue to identify that antonym that we're talking about. So when presented with an unfamiliar or new word, look for signal words that would imply different meaning. Example, what does the word haberdashery mean? Lou wanted to go to haberdashery, but Anne wanted to go to the boutique. The signal word but tells the reader that the opposite thought is going to be stated. Okay? So therefore, haberdashery is the opposite of the boutique. And what do we know about a boutique? The boutique is a place for where women or girls could buy clothes or something that they need. Now we could assume that a boutique is different from a haberdashery. Therefore, what's the opposite of a store that sells women's clothes? It would be a store that sells men's clothes. Okay. Next. Um, Next would be inference or general context clues. Sometimes a word or phrase is not immediately defined within the same sentence. So there will be world relationships might have uninferred or implied definition. So the reader must look for clues in surrounding sentences or this could discover or understand the meaning of the new word. It's within the sentence or within the paragraph. You just have to look for clues. Like this example, the haberdashery was Lou's favorite place. He loved shopping for nice suits. The people who worked there were so kind and helpful. So the second sentence here tells us what Lou would be shopping for. What would that be? Suits. We can then infer a haberdashery is a place to buy suits, therefore a place to buy men's clothing. Okay, and how did we do that? For by looking for inference or clues within the paragraph itself. Okay, or right after the word that we don't know or the difficult word. And lastly, through punctuation. Punctuation plays a big role in discovering the meaning of a new or difficult word. In using punctuation, inclusive punctuation in text style, we can infer the meaning of the word. Just like the first one, we use comma. But there are other punctuations that we could use, like dash, what else? Parentheses, brackets. You could use italics, the slanted word, and even quotations. Okay, let's look at the following examples. Okay, the first one, through the use of comma. Tom's father was a haberdasher, comma, men's shopkeeper. So that was our clue. Tom's father was a haberdasher. Inside the parentheses, we have men's shopkeeper. It's directly given to you through the use of parentheses. And then the third one in the story, Tom's father was a haberdasher, dash, or men's shopkeeper. I think there are two clues found here, dash and the word or. Okay, so to give us a definition of the word haberdasher. And lastly, Tom's father was a haberdasher. He had a clothing store for men. So to find our difficult word of obviously is in quotation marks haberdasher, and then we have the definition right after it saying that it is a store for men's clothing. Okay, so without the use of the dictionary or without looking up the definition of the word, we could still find ways to identify meaning of them through the following ways. Okay, if you have any question, please let me know. I'm just inside the classroom to help you out. Okay, thanks. Bye.